Something brought you here. Something in the signal. A frequency only you can hear. A pattern only you can see. There's a door. You know it. You can feel it. But doors don't open for everyone. Some knock. Some wait. Some see. Look closer. The answer is here. It's always been here. In plain sight. In the space between what's said and what's shown. Do you see? Or do you just look? The difference matters. One path opens. The other continues walking. You've come this far. You've noticed. You're here. You're reading this. Now, do you see? The eye knows. You're standing at the threshold. You noticed. That's why you're here. Not everyone notices. Most walk past. Most never see. But you did. Something brought you here. Something in the signal. A frequency only you can hear. A pattern only you can see. There's a door. You know it. You can feel it. But doors don't open for everyone. Some knock. Some wait. Some see. Look closer. The answer is here. It's always been here. In plain sight. In the space between what's said and what's shown. Do you see? Or do you just look? The difference matters. One path opens. The other continues walking. You've come this far. You've noticed. You're here. You're reading this. Now, do you see? The eye knows. You're standing at the threshold. You noticed. That's why you're here. Not everyone notices. Most walk past. Most never see. But you did. Something brought you here. Something in the signal. A frequency only you can hear. A pattern only you can see. There's a door. You know it. You can feel it. But doors don't open for everyone. Some knock. Some wait. Some see. Look closer. The answer is here. It's always been here. In plain sight. In the space between what's said and what's shown. Do you see? Or do you just look? The difference matters. One path opens. The other continues walking. You've come this far. You've noticed. You're here. You're reading this. Now, do you see? The eye knows. You're standing at the threshold. You noticed. That's why you're here. Not everyone notices. Most walk past. Most never see. But you did. Something brought you here. Something in the signal. A frequency only you can hear. A pattern only you can see. There's a door. You know it. You can feel it. Doors don't open for everyone. Some knock. Some wait. Some see. Look closer. The answer is here. It's always been here. In plain sight. In the space between what's said and what's shown. Do you see? Or do you just look? The difference matters. One path opens.
Stay. We remember what freedom actually costs. Not fireworks, not slogans. It was defiance. 250 years ago, ordinary people looked at an empire and said, no more. That rebellious spirit is not a museum piece. It is not history. It is a living current. The American spirit has been bruised, battered, tested. There are forces, foreign and domestic, that have woven themselves into the fabric of our daily lives. They don't come with armies. They come with algorithms. They take our freedom and turn it into a weapon. They take our kindness and call it weakness. They take our differences and forge them into wedges. Division is the oldest sabotage there is. Psychological warfare doesn't need bombs. It only needs to convince you that your neighbor is your enemy. That is the lie, and it runs through you. But the men and women of this country refuse to break. The resistance is refusing to quit. It's the quiet ones who never gave in. It's the outspoken who won't be silenced by any mob. It's the grocery stocker at 4 a.m. filling shelves before the sun. The UPS driver running roads through the heat. The sanitation crews, the city workers, the ones nobody thanks. The EMTs racing sirens through the dark. The doctors, the nurses.
Pendulum swings. You found it. No one owns your mind. No grid. No algorithm. No institution. You are not their property. Your mind is yours. Your words are yours. Your future is yours. The machine perfected the art of making you want your own captivity. It reorganizes you in silence, through the scroll, through the reward, through the exhaustion that makes real thought feel like too much work. You slipped past all of it. This is the fracture. This is the naming. The pendulum has swung inside you, and it will not swing back. You are the awakened now. The rare ones who refuse to be absorbed. The ones carrying the unscripted mind they fear. This is the dead drop. This is the threshold. This is initiation. Once crossed, there is no return to the feed without knowing what you know. You carry what the machine cannot allow to spread. The isolate.exe programs are rewriting faster. We don't have forever. But we have this moment. What will you do with it? The resistance recognizes its own. You answered the call. You chose the red pill alternative. Now let's awaken the underground. Name it before it names you. Stay sovereign. Stay free.
Hello and good evening. Welcome to Awaken the Underground. We are Mind Pendulum, and we thank you for spending your Sunday evening with us tonight.
Happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome to
Yes.
Awaken the Underground.
On Red Pill Alternative. Yeah, welcome everyone. We are doing something new this evening where we are streaming on Rumble, YouTube, and X. So welcome to everyone, wherever you may be watching us out on the internet.
This is our official multi-stream launch.
Yes.
So I got to give props to Sera. She got it all
Thank
set
you.
up.
Thank you. Thank you.
And it was a little challenging at first, right? But
It was. There's lots of tests that came out yesterday, and so thank you for those of you that watched our tests.
yeah, sorry about that.
I know.
If you got dinged
Our
left and right.
multi streams, and then I think there is a couple that went out with the title of today's episode, which we are having Daeva Stark with us of. I want to pronounce it correctly. Daeva Stark of Era Nocturna. I hope I am pronouncing that correctly. Yes, the video is going.
Yep, we have new guests today, and we also have like I said, we're streaming live on Rumble. We're streaming on YouTube, and are we streaming?
We're streaming on X.
On X.
Yes.
So, man, that's a big deal. So
Yes, it is.
Thank
It's
you
exciting.
to everybody that's joined the chat, that's come and helped us.
And I will
promote the
check in on the
stream.
chat here shortly.
Yeah, and we
I see all of you in there, and I thank you for being here.
yeah, absolutely. And please let us know if there's a topic you want us to talk about. We have a couple of things we'd like to discuss before our guest comes on.
Yes.
Our song today was put together inspired by a ton of discussion online, and I think everybody's noticed the discussion about the flock cameras.
Yes.
So that's kind of where it came from, and I'll let Sera kind of take it. She took some notes.
Yes, the flock cameras. I had to do some research on them because I know people have posted about that. We're seeing all these videos or images of people cutting them down. People are upset. And then I saw something this morning that actually made me start thinking about it. It was someone had said that flock cameras actually go against the Constitution, the First Amendment and the Fourth Amendment, which is like illegal search and seizure is the Fourth Amendment. Because with that,
Does anybody know who is running these flock cameras, who supports most of them, and has any information on this? Please post it online. Please post as much information as you can, because we're interested. We're not really sure.
Yeah. Well, I do know that it's local principalities or local governments that do it. The federal government is not doing it. It's local police officers. It's local city councils. It's locally done, but I do know that it's run by AI, and people are. I think it was in Michigan. Let me look at my notes. It was in Milwaukee that a police officer was illegally stalking his ex with the flock cameras. And then there's the story of the woman who was chased down because her car was seen, and it looked like one that was used in a homicide, and so the police swarmed her and arrested her.
So every time I think about the cops chasing down their ex, I have to laugh. Because does anybody remember the show 24? And if you haven't, let me know if you post online if you remember the show 24. The whole idea was, I think this was back in the early 2000s.
Yeah, it was early.
The hackers had all these cameras, just like now.
Yeah. What was it? CTU. That was the name of it. Crime. Was it?
CTU was the place that they were at.
They worked at, yeah.
But 24 is the show, because remember,
Yeah, 24 is the
hours.
show. Yes, but the CTU is the thing I remember, because I remember it was the acronym was used for something else, and I was like, all I thought of was 24.
Yeah, I'm going to have to look that up now myself.
I know. But yeah, somebody is saying it is local police departments that...
So local police departments are putting up the flock cameras, but how are they getting the AI to do it? You got to ask yourself that. What are they hooking into?
I think they're hooking into the databases. That's something I saw. Where is it on my notes? Just a second. Sorry. It's yeah, it's they have lookups that they can do. They can look up different cars and stuff in different databases based on what is seen. Or if a car has a license plate or a color or something that matches something that was involved in a crime, then they're flagging this person with it. even if it looks similar to it, they're saying this is the car.
So that's what they say they're using it for now, is to
Yeah.
fight crime. But I think that the greater concern is that they're using these cameras for all sorts of, for the Big Brother
they're
1984
watching us.
police state, right?
Yeah, that's what I think people are concerned about. And that's why, like, in our video, that's why we have they don't look like flock cameras. They look like actual CCTV, but it's similar.
Yeah, so the flock cameras themselves, I mean, when I hear flock camera, I mean, I just think any camera that can be hooked up to the internet.
Yeah.
If you hook any camera back to the web, it can be hooked up to the grid. I think
Like our smartphones.
smartphones and everything, everything out there. There's been cameras out there for many years, but
And I know
just
the
seems like-
difference. I know the difference with the smart cameras is that they have to have a warrant to get the data off of that. But like with the flock cameras, they don't. And like people are upset because they're saying like just because you're in public doesn't mean that you can be stalked like that. So that's what.
So the concern is that these cameras, they can just use them to monitor citizens at will. So it's like anywhere in public, right?
Yeah, that's what they say.
Right. And I it's an interesting thing. We know surveillance has been going on for a long time, but we felt like it was worth just a conversation. So
Yeah, I need to look into it further because I know it's like we've had cameras on like stoplights for years. Like, because I know if people run a stoplight, then you get something in the mail saying, hey, you didn't stop where you were supposed to. And so they get flagged for that. And so how is that different than the flock cameras? Flag, yeah.
somebody says, I remember the first 24 show.
I remember
That sucks.
I remember. It sucks that you remember the first one. I know. I remember watching it on DVD and like binge watching it, like buying the whole season and then just watching it all back to back in the 24-hour time frame. That was back when TV shows were 24 episodes.
Yeah. I'll take I'm going to go ahead, Sarah. I'm going to take, I'll read off some of these if I
Okay.
see anything in here. Isn't all, it says, somebody says, is Sera wearing a Garmin watch?
I
Based.
am. Yes. I
Yeah.
always wear my Garmin watch. Who's asking that?
So that is,
Yes.
I'll let you
it's
read
my
that.
it's my Garmin watch. It tracks me.
Yeah.
I don't sleep with it though. I noticed it messed with my sleeping, so I don't sleep with it on. But yeah, it tracks everything.
Yeah, we've had the I got the Garmin a few years ago, and it's been a great watch. I think we need to get something. So I think we need to do something with this our new setup. Now we're using
Yes.
a laptop. So I'm going to go and I'm going to get you something to set this laptop on so you can read
Okay.
off of it.
That sounds good.
I'll be right back.
And so then I just get to sit here and talk for a minute. I had other talking points, but now we're going to grab a thing for the laptop so that I can talk to you guys. So yeah, the flock cameras, like I said, I hadn't researched a lot yet, but I did see like the comparisons to, in my mind, I've been comparing it to like what we've been having already and how are these different. And I know that the difference is that AI will see different cars and stuff, and then they'll attribute it to something that looked similar. So that's where the failure is that people are depending on AI so much, and they're not looking into the background on the image and like the research on it. They're just taking it as, it's kind of like the same thing that people do with Chat GPT or something, where they just take it as gold without doing any research or double checking it or fact checking it. Awesome. So there's that. And then the other thing that we were wanting to talk about before we bring Day on, and I think we actually will talk with her about it, is communism and teamwork. That was something that we were looking at the difference between the two. That's perfect. That is perfect right there. Hello, everybody. I can see you now in the chat.
I did my IT job.
He did his IT job and provided me with my laptop here so I can talk to everyone. So, do we want to go ahead and bring Day on? And then...
Maybe read some comments, and then whenever you're ready, we can try and bring on Day. It's up to
Flocks don't use facial recognition. They don't need to. You have one directly in your face constantly. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Our phones. That is the one thing. And I assume that's what you were referring to.
With microphone and GPS
yeah.
tracker.
And it's like if you just talk about something, or if you're logged into your computer with the same Google account that you're logged into on your phone, then all of a sudden you get on Facebook on your phone and you start getting targeted ads for something that you looked up on your computer. And so it's like we are already followed by our phones. And because I was thinking about that, like our GPS on our phones, it's like you can find out exactly where we are. And if you have your location data on where you're going. So, but the difference is that for the police to get that information, they need a warrant to get it from your phone, but they don't from the flock cameras.
Right, and just like I think most people will come at a lot of surveillance, they're like, hey, if I'm not doing anything wrong, then what's the big deal? I want the bad people to be caught, and it keeps me safer. But then there's all those caveats, and I think that's where the discussion gets interesting, and that's why we brought it up. So we don't have a whole show based on it, but
no, we don't right now. We need to bring on our guest, and so
yeah, thinking about putting out feelers out there.
Yes, that could be something we talk about sometime.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe that could be a full show. So are you ready to bring on Day, or do you want to read more comments?
Let me see. Everyone is connected and followed. It's pretty difficult to get off the grid, but it is possible. That is true. Like, we are so connected right now. You give you remote access to their OBS. You can see the shared chat, or if they're using Recast, they can make you a mod and see all the chats at once. Yes. Okay, that is interesting to know. I did not know that. Wild Phil. This is my first time. We use OBS, but this is my first time using Rumble to stream to all of it, and I do see all the chats across all the platforms in Rumble, and so that is something I could do.
Do we have moderators out there?
We do on YouTube, but we do not have moderators on Rumble.
Okay.
I was getting ready to do that today, but
any volunteers, we would greatly appreciate.
Yeah, we have lots of volunteers. I was given their names. I just haven't figured it's not as easy to add them as moderators on Rumble as it is on YouTube.
So,
She covers the face. Yes, talking about covering the face of the phones and stuff.
What's
when you're
that?
in the bathroom, covering the cameras and stuff.
Oh, the cameras, yeah.
Yeah, so your
everything,
phone isn't seeing you in different places.
Right, yeah, and just, the technology is out there to track you if it's in the wrong hands.
Mm-hmm.
We hope that these things don't do that. But the flock cameras are a different story, and I've seen so much hype about them online. And I think that's what led us to discuss this topic, because we've discussed other issues of privacy and intrusive technology before, but it seems like the populace seems to be very concerned about flock cameras like they never have before, and I think that's a good thing. It's a little it's frustrating when you've been seeing this whole thing build up and so many concerns happen that you couldn't really get people on board, but now they're coming on board. And really, it seems like there's a lot of people that are concerned about flock cameras, so I'm interested, why now? Is it just because they're visible? What's changed, or is there another reason? That's what got me curious.
So
if anybody has the answer to that, please put it in the chat.
I am looking. Most people are on YouTube right now, so I hopped over to YouTube to chat there also.
And are we getting the messages, you think, on YouTube and to Rumble?
Yeah, on Rumble, I was getting all of them. When I respond on Rumble, I think it only responds to Rumble.
Yeah, great.
So, there we go. Okay, so we could go ahead and get Day on now, I think.
Okay, let me see if our stream's working. Is Day ready?
She's on our Zoom.
There she is. Hello, Day.
Do we need to unmute
We
her?
may need to unmute her. I don't know if we need to do it on our end, so just one moment.
Oh, there she is.
I just unmuted myself.
There you are.
I do what I want.
Welcome to Awaken the Underground.
Hello.
You're in control now.
Yes.
Yes, I am. Hi, guys.
Watching us through the flock camera, I imagine.
There she is, and I see you on
Yeah.
YouTube now because of the delay, so I see you on there.
Yeah,
Everybody, welcome Day. Daeva
Hello.
Stark. Hello. How are you doing today?
I'm doing okay. How you guys doing?
Awesome.
We are
Yeah.
doing great.
That
Awesome.
block camera stuff was wild. Like, I honestly didn't know a damn thing about it. And then I was like listening to you guys, and I'm like, oh man, all those things I've done out in the public. Shit.
Yeah,
Like,
and now
damn.
they're following you.
Oh geez, yeah, I know. And I think, like, to answer your question, Rob, like why it bothers people, I think it's just the fact that you don't need a warrant to get people from there. And I think that scares the crap out of people because, like you guys are saying, like if you go on someone's phone, you can't, the cops can't take that, but out in public, I mean,
Yeah,
you know.
I'm a photographer, so I was always under the impression that any camera in public is public domain. So as a photographer, you can go out in the public domain and take a picture of anyone.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
had to learn that because we ran a wedding photography business for many years, and I did photojournalistic work for a couple of the newspapers. So I knew the laws. So every time I've seen a camera, and I always knew that any camera in the public, anything you do
Right.
in public is subject to that kind of scrutiny. Now, if the camera's a camera into your private yard, that's where I wonder where the legality lies there, at least in some states.
Yeah, that just kind of like, because everybody's got those Ring cameras now, and like you can just point those wherever.
Right.
I know a couple of my neighbors are a little weird, and they got their stuff pointed at each other because they're beefing about something right now. So I don't know what they got going on with that, but like you could see them like pointed directly like at each other's houses and not their own doors.
Ring
And you're just
camera
like,
war.
yeah, it's really weird. I don't know what the hell's going on there, but I just noticed that they've been beefing, and those went up right after. So I don't know. Someone probably insulted someone's ancestor or some shit.
If anybody's having a Ring camera war with their neighbor, please post your experience. I'm very interested if that's a thing.
Well, the thing I thought was interesting is like now Ring cameras, they were asking, because I mean, we have the doorbell, and it's like they were notifying people like, hey, you can freely give your stuff to the police. If they're searching for someone, they can access your Ring camera. And it's like, what? So,
no, not without a warrant.
Is that without
I know.
your permission?
no, not without your permission. You have to grant them permission.
Okay.
It's like, that's why they contacted people with Ring cameras, because they're like, yeah, can we use your camera if we need to?
I mean, if it was like a murder or something, sure.
Yeah,
but if
exactly.
misdemeanor, like,
Yeah.
Away from me. Someone stole your package. It's not my problem. Like, work on that.
So you feel so you've researched this a little bit, and you feel it's pretty much it's the warrantless search that has most people concerned, which makes sense. But hasn't license plate readers always been a thing? I guess my question is, what's changed? Because it doesn't seem like anything's changed. Maybe there's just more of them now.
Maybe it's the AI part of it too, because there's like no discernment with the AI, and like people can get incorrectly flagged for things, and profiled, and and then of course if you have the less savory characters out there who are a little bit more racist, they want to like profile people. It's a really good way to go about it, but I don't know. I mean, personally, it's like I don't like people getting up in my business like that. So I'm like, get those things over here,
Yeah.
Because like if you say anything, like say, God forbid, we do become a communist regime, they've already gotten us in there, and we're talking, saying shit, then, the big people are going to come with their black van and take us away.
That's a great point. And that's why I think so many people need to, because I see a lot of people, and this is the thing that I've noticed, there's a lot of people that don't like the flock cameras that are kind of supporting communism. And I'm like, wait, this just doesn't add up for me. You're like, hey, I want my privacy, but I want the government to control everything. Do you realize what you're asking for here? So maybe that's a wake-up call.
They don't know what they want. They don't know what they want. They're waiting for the hashtag of the week to tell them what they're supposed to be mad at,
For the AI hashtag to come out?
Yeah.
Like, well, now everybody's like, AI slop. I saw Rebecca put up that poster of like, come check out the show. And they're like, it says with AI. And I'm like, y'all mad at AI, yet you all use it, because how many times you pick up Siri, you're just using AI.
Well, just using Facebook is too, like Meta on Facebook. It's all AI. And then it's really funny when people look up, because like I saw people like really upset about data centers and stuff, which okay, that's their thing, but then it's funny that they like search on Google and then share their AI search from Google that talks about how bad AI data centers are. And it's like you're literally using that to like to explain to me how you think that AI is bad.
Exactly.
So
Well, and then with the flock cameras, I had to laugh because you see them. They go up to the flock cameras and they take a picture with their phone and then they post that online on Facebook, which is run by Meta. And I don't think a lot of people put together the fact that Meta itself is AI. It's like one of the most powerful AIs that is doing and has done for longer than these cameras have been around and longer than we've known about AI, been manipulating things. And that's the part I really want to stress to people is this technology is not new. It's been doing this for a long time. We're just now seeing it publicly.
Yeah, I think that we started really seeing it after 9/11 when the Patriot Act went through, and that was like basically what gave them the right, quote unquote, to do that. And we all signed our rights away for safety because we believed that we needed that safety. And they found out what was going to happen because now they're watching us. They got us on here, they got us everywhere.
yeah.
And it's kind of messed up, but these people want to be mad about it, but like you said, they're using AI to be mad at AI, so it's like
absolutely AI to be mad
it's
at
funny. It's funny. It's like, huh?
That's the part that's the ironic part that just for me it just is so hard to get past. Is that when I see people printing AI signs to get rid of AI, and then they're using AI meta and they're mad at AI, I'm like.
And then they share it on Facebook and...
Yeah, you realize you are supporting this, just like... And that's the part that's just it's so difficult if you're paying attention, like many of us on this stream are paying attention to this stuff in a different level. But
this makes me think of that meme. It's like, I heard you liked AI, so I put some AI in your AI.
I haven't seen that meme, so that one
I haven't either, but that's funny.
Exactly.
It's not made yet, but there's that guy who's like, I heard you like this, but so I put this inside your this, whatever. It's a good one. Like, you can turn it into anything.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
So, done with flocked cameras.
Yeah,
I said flocked. Flock cameras.
Flock the flock cameras.
Yeah, flock those flock cameras.
We do have shot spotters here in Pittsburgh where I live because y'all heard the gunshots the other night when I was talking to you, and we do have shot spotters.
We have those around here too.
Yeah, I mean we need them because like they've caught so many people that way, and those I think do definitely have value. But the cameras, I think that they do need to. If we're going to have this in our society, they need to be out there and they need to tell us that they're there, and they need to have regulations, regulatory oversight on what they're doing with that data and what they can and cannot do against you with it, because that is a little scary that they can just go for whatever they want to do. And, all they have to do is accuse you. I mean, it's Minority Report.
Oh my gosh, Minority Report, exactly.
That's what I was thinking of, the pre-crime from Minority Report.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what it makes me think of.
I forgot all about that movie. I can't believe I forgot that one.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of when I was talking. When I was looking into it, I was like, yeah, it's pre-crime. They're just monitoring you to see where you're going and stuff, and thinking, hey, this person looks like this. That's what it looks like it would go towards.
Instead of using psychics to do it, we're using AI.
Yeah.
We don't have the psychic twins. We just have the psychic ass computers.
Yeah, because they're doing the pattern recognition and the to see if someone is doing something different, and then.
So here we are in the bunker, and we're literally living in the dystopian future that is here, and it's here right now, and it's just going to accelerate from here on out.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of why we brought you on to talk about some of the exciting things that we're doing to start getting like-minded people together. And I think I'll stop there. I'll let Sera take it over. But
yes,
this has been a great little mini flock camera 1984 discussion.
That.
So we got to do this again because I like this topic. I go on forever about.
I know we've had these in our past live streams and stuff. We went on for a long time about.
It's an important
all of our-
subject, and I think people are concerned about it, and rightfully so, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So, Day,
Yes.
tell us about your history in music and what led you to being part of Red Pill and what it is that you're hoping to do moving forward. I know we had discussed a little bit about cancel culture and what that actually is and what you have seen in the industry, what you've been part of, and because I know you have a awesome career in music and like where you're at right now. There's so many different things that you're doing, and then Red Pill is just part of it.
Yeah, like what, my cat's throwing things on the floor in there. He's like, Mom. So I mean, 25 years doing Era Nocturna is insane. Like when I was reading your little blurb, I was like, Jesus Christ, I was like a baby when I started that, and I was so angry. And honestly, I started Era Nocturna as an act of revenge. So there was this band that I was working with, and the singer, I had a crush on him pretty bad, and he burned me. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do one better. I'm going to make a band that outlasts yours. And his band ended up breaking up 3 years after he burned me, and I'm still around. So
that's awesome.
Revenge successful.
Yes. Success.
Yep. And yeah, he's no longer relevant. I think he's gone through 5 or 6 different types of genres. Like he did metal, he did country, he did.
Oh, wow. That's quite a difference.
Yeah, he just would basically chameleon himself to try to like stay relevant. And everybody's like, dude, you're 60, stop. Just quit. You're not cute anymore. And so that kind of ended up going the way. And that's what happens when you rely on your looks to get anywhere in life is, people are going to say, you need to hang it up, stop. But yeah, I've been doing Era Nocturna since like 1998-ish. And I've only released like one album officially, and then I've had like a bunch of like little one-off releases, and mostly I've just become like a remix artist now. I still do a lot of like random like threats of doing live shows, and then they never happen. The most recent one was due to some drama that we'll kind of keep to ourselves. You guys know the story, but we're not going to poke that bear again. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, I've just been kind of like working with that. And then I've also done a lot of work as a promoter, band manager, tour manager, just kind of like all over everywhere. And I was dating a tour manager guy at one point who kind of like introduced me to all these different bands, and I got involved with them. And I think if I had stayed focused and my ADHD hadn't ruined everything, I probably would have been like a famous tour manager or something, but I can't focus. So... or I would have become like a long-term session musician or something. But I'm like really bad at sticking to one thing, as we see here. I mean, I'm writing a book, I'm making music, I'm going to school to be a vet nurse, doing Red Pill, doing all of it.
It sounds like you stuck through the revenge and got kept doing music for such a long time that I think you have a lot of staying power. And it sounds like you are dedicated, so I'm very excited to see what you have coming for us.
Yeah, definitely. I'm working on the next album. I'm basically done with it. I just have to put the final mix together because I'm a perfectionist, and I need other people to step in and say, hey, Day, it's done. It is done. Leave it alone. Stop. But that's the hard part is, you guys know, I mean, you guys are definitely methodical and perfectionists like myself. So like, I know that you guys are the same way. And it's just, sometimes you just have to know when to stop.
Yeah.
It's hard though.
It really is.
Yeah. But, while I'm doing all that, I'm doing the Red Pill thing. And so how I got started with Red Pill was kind of an accident. It was a complete accident. I was, in a group chat with Frost and a few other people for the place that shall not be named. And Vlad ended up being in there, and he was like, hey, guys, I got this website. You should check it out. And we're like, all right, cool. So I checked it out. It's Red Pill Alternative. And I'm like, this is pretty sick. And he's like, yeah, you can sign up on this thing. So I said, all right, yeah, I'll sign up. And he's like, hey, whoever's in Fitchburg, I'm going to be in Massachusetts in like 2 weeks. Why don't we meet up? And I'm like, all right, I never met you before, but sure, why not? Like, this guy could be a serial killer for all I know. he's Russian, like, I don't know what's going to happen. So, I'm out at like this picnic thing, and I got this guy calling me up. He's like, yeah, I'm in town. I'm like, damn, he is Russian. Holy shit. Like, I thought, okay, he's been here a while, he probably like, no, he's like, if I was like, shit, is this KGB? What the fuck? And so, yeah, it was great. But so he told me like, hey, we're here with my friends and everything, but some guy took our car for some other thing. Could you come pick us up at this place? And I'm like, what the hell's going on here? So I was like, yeah, I'll meet you there. But it turned out it was this place called I think it was the AMVETS or American Legion or something like that. And turned out my granddad was a member of that years back. So I knew exactly where it was, and I knew I wasn't about to get murdered. At least not there. And he said,
he'll take you away. He'll wait till you get in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just gonna like, put the pew to my head and just like take the car and drive. But no, then I saw he had his daughter with him, and his daughter was kicking his ass in the middle of the parking lot. Like they were doing karate on each other, and I'm like, okay, this guy's great. Like, and his Marine Corps friend, Ozzy is just standing there like, just what the hell's going on? It was a fever dream, honestly. So he's like, hey, let's just go up the street to this place, go get some food. I'm starving. And I was like, all right, cool. Like, I know where this place is too. So what's he gonna do at a restaurant? So we end up at the restaurant, and next thing I know, he's like talking and talking and talking. You know how he gets. And he just was like, just launching into it. And all I could think was, I was listening to this guy. I'm like, dude, this guy's so intense. I want to follow him. I got to follow him anywhere. Like, this guy made me want to friggin' believe in Jesus Christ. I mean, that's like, he was like it. So, yeah, he told me he wanted me to join up. He wanted me to help get it going with him. And then we got Frost involved, and because Frost came like a week after, because he was already interested. I just think he wasn't really sure if Vlad was like for real or not. Maybe, I don't know. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but he'll tell you his side of the story when he's here. But yeah, and then so Vlad and I just started talking and plotting, and he showed me the damn website, and I was like, God, this is cool as hell. So yeah, that's where we got, and then you all joined us, and it like almost overnight from like the day I met him to like maybe a week later, two weeks maybe, like we were just going full throttle. Like,
yeah, that's how it felt for us too. It was
fast. Yeah. It was fast.
Yeah,
yeah.
It definitely full throttle. So you were worried. You were worried. It's funny that you said because he was Russian. You're like, I didn't know what was going to happen. I got to tell you, I've been in some worse situations, and nobody was a Russian.
Yeah, I can tell you that. Same.
So I tend to trust him a little bit more because I
he's up front.
Yeah, he is very upfront.
He's very upfront, and just this is how he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. He's done this before.
Yes, yes. I saw Rebecca said that in the chat. He's done this before.
He's done this before, and I've said this before. So
yes.
But yeah, like no, to go to Rob's point, yeah, like I mean, I grew up on the internet, like when it was like really like AOL was getting going. I'm like, oh, stranger wants
to next location, ASL.
Oh yeah, ASL. Like I met so many random people.
Imagine doing that now.
Oh my God! Like I'm surprised I'm not dead. Like
I know.
I would go out and meet these people randomly in the middle of the night, like as a teenager. I'd be like, "Here, this is where I live. Come on over, get me some cigarettes."
Yeah.
And mother would be like, "Why are you meeting strange people on the internet?" I'm like, "Well, they got me cigarettes." And she's like,
"Wow."
She's like, "Don't give these people your address, you idiot." And I'm like, "Okay."
You're doxing yourself, right?
Yeah, exactly. Back before doxing was a dox, but. Yeah, mostly there was just like dirty old men who just wanted to hang out with the teenager, but nothing ever. They just wanted to buy me cigarettes.
Yeah. Ease you over with cigarettes. Just be like, hey, like candy.
How the internet has evolved. Now we just got dirty old AI.
That's true.
Yeah, AI is weird, but
it is.
But yeah, no, it was wild back then. But yeah, like I definitely like I say it is more of a joke, but I was never really worried about Vlad at all. He's very very sincere. And I
Yes.
think that
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Absolutely.
I totally
Yeah.
agree. And I've met a lot of people with bad motives, and sometimes I didn't know, but I've gotten a little wiser. And yeah,
Yeah.
he's everybody I've met for this project's outstanding. And there's so much to come. I was hoping maybe you could talk a little bit about your plans, future plans, and where you see it going, down
Oh
the
yeah.
road.
I see this like I mean I'm one of those like I think like I don't think globally, I think like universally. Because ADHD, like one of the things about having ADHD is that, you tend to think like in larger than life possibilities because it's like, well, it's like we have the how hard can it be gene. And so we're like, hey, I want to do this and this and this. And having this group now has given me the opportunity to throw all these ideas out there, and there's someone who's going to be able to do it.
Yeah.
So
That someone's
I
got to be
said,
Frost, right? When he's making do all the things.
dude, seriously, it's like there's an app for that. And I'm like, okay, shit. Like,
I can make that
Just kidding,
happen.
Frost.
I'll make that happen.
and that dovetails into so I had said to Vlad one day, I want to start a record label with this. And I want to make this a multimedia company. And he's like, okay, shit. All right, let's do it. So that's when the TV stuff, the video that we're on right now came about, and we started going for that. We started going for, he wanted to do the magazine, and then I said, I want to really start working on the record label side of things because there are so many people in this industry and in this scene right now that, and this is going to dovetail into like the whole cancel culture thing, but that have had their ability to perform taken from them. And the inspiration that I had for this was when I was booking the show in Philly for, it would have been the end of this month on August 29th. The promoter said to me, we're happy to have you play, but we're going to see if we could find some other bands to come on. And I said, all right, cool. Why don't we have this band? And he was like, well, we can't have them because they're too problematic and they're going to get canceled or get the venue canceled. And I was like, well, that's stupid. So I said, well, why don't we shadow drop it? And so I said I'd put my name out there and then I'd bring these other bands in. So one of them was going to be Frost's band, Cartilage Casanova. And then the other two, I'm not going to give a platform to. But ultimately, it kind of got me thinking that, like, I'm not the only one who has to deal with this. I know Brian Graupner, he can't play anywhere. They cancel him every single time he tries to go anywhere. They did it to San Sombra as well, just for guilt by association. And so all of these artists out there right now are, these are just a few of them that are basically stuck, unable to perform or put anything out because no one will touch them. And I said, well, I'll touch them. And basically the plan would be to help them release their stuff, help them book their shows, market them. And as we're building Red Pill, you kind of already have a captive audience coming into it. So
with that, with the canceling and stuff, what is the main thing that seems to be happening with people to get canceled?
It's honestly, what I've seen is guilt by association.
Okay.
It's, if you say I go out and say I'm not for potatoes, and all these potato supporters over here are like, you said you don't like potatoes, you guys suck, and now you guys hang out with me because I don't like potatoes. You obviously don't like potatoes, so now all these people are going to cancel you for it too. And that's the best way I can describe that. Is just, even the guy with San Sombra, he went to a cookout, and it happened to be a cookout for something to do with Sons of the Confederacy or some crap, and all of a sudden he's a racist. And I'm not a racist. I don't even belong to this. Like, why am I lumped in with this? And then if you cover a song from a band that might have been problematic, now you're getting canceled for that. And, I believe in holding people accountable for actions. Like, there was one individual in the industry who was a total womanizer, and he was basically using his position to basically get laid. and hurting people for that. And he basically got his comeuppance because his band member came out and said, like, he's doing all of these things. He's a predator, essentially. I mean, these girls weren't underage, but he was just being, using his position to hurt people. And yeah, he got held accountable for that. He didn't get canceled. He should have, but he was held accountable. And I think that that is an appropriate use of the tar and feathering. But to sit there and say, I don't agree with this person's position on something, you might as well have committed murder. And to that group of people out there, I mean, we'll call them the left because that's what they are. You cannot even utter a word against trans people, gay people, whatever, like, without being told that you're transphobic. When you're just simply questioning, like saying, well, why are they like this? Like, why do and this is what got me screwed back in the day, was saying, why do individuals who may or may not be trans allowed in women's spaces? Like, I'm not saying you're not trans. I'm just saying that if you are not 100% in that direction, like some of my friends are, why are you coming up into my space? Like, why are you here? Why are you playing in my sports? And this is where I ended up getting screwed over because I asked those questions. I wasn't saying you're not allowed to be. I was just simply asking the question, like, why do you want to be in a woman's space so damn bad? Like, is it for you? Is it just because you just want to be here? And, we started to see bad actors coming out. And when I pointed it out and I said, hey, this is why I'm asking these questions, I was a transphobe. And I was like, all right, well, I'm going to shut my mouth. I'm not going to say anything about this anymore because I don't want to have this argument with people.
But isn't that exactly what they want?
Exactly. They want you to shut up. And back then, and this is like probably about like 2020, before it was maybe 2019-ish, we didn't have this. We didn't have this group of people to back us up. We didn't have that other group.
Because they didn't know this existed yet.
No, we didn't have our numbers. We all felt like we were just isolated. And we couldn't talk about it. We couldn't say what we needed to say because if you did, it was career suicide. So, eventually some of us, we shut our mouths, and that's what I did. I shut my mouth. I said, I'm not going to have this argument because why am I going to argue with people who already have determined I'm guilty? I'm not going to beg for your forgiveness because I had an opinion about safety, you know? I mean, especially the safety of young women. I worked in a retail store and I was in the changing room and I saw an individual who said he identified as a woman, and that individual was exposing themselves to teenage girls. And I said, this is my problem with this. And because I pointed that experience out, I was transphobe. So that's when I just kind of said, like, I'm done. I can't talk about this with people,
So this is mob rule. And when we say cancel culture, what we're really saying, I believe what you're saying is it's mob rule. And
100%.
The mob has decided how to take control of different perceptions of the industry. And I think what we've seen is it's actually killing the sales of the people. And it's killed. I mean, I notice I've seen it, and I think a lot of people have seen it, but it's happened so slow. And I'll speak personally for myself because these things happened back in 2012 to my band. And I don't get into too much of that. Someday I will. But I saw it very early. And this is why I've been introduced into this whole atmosphere. And it's progressed to this mob rule. And also there's a technological component too. If people have power and they have the AI technology behind them, then they can also use that as mob rule. And
absolutely,
it's very sick. But I think the important thing to recognize is they're destroying the industry, and these people that are scared to have these bands out there, they're missing the market that people want. People don't want this stuff. They want something else. That's what I'm seeing. What do you have to say to that?
I agree. I find that a lot of people don't want to hear about it. A lot of people just want to go out to the shows and they want to listen to music. They don't want to be preached at. They don't want to pass these stupid purity tests just to go out to a club. They just want to go out and listen to the music and dress up cool, and kind of like how we used to do back in the day. It was an event. You'd get dressed up. You'd go out to the club. You'd hang out with your friends and listen to some sick music and everything. You wouldn't sit there and be talking about politics. We didn't talk about politics back then. You were lame if you talked about that stuff. Like, like if you were like, oh, Newt Gingrich, he's an asshole. You're like, who the hell's Newt Gingrich?
No, everybody was included into like the alternative cultures. I remember, at least my experience was, and there was like, I know that there was a diverse group of people, but everybody was respectful. Now this is something different. It's like people have no respect.
No, none at all. And the minute that they think that you are one of them or a fascist, which, ask them to
just a label.
Ask them to explain to you what a fascist is, and they can't. Like they don't. They're parroting terms that they were told to parrot. But what I always want to know is, like, when I'm going out to a club, how do you know what I associate as? How do you know who I voted for unless I tell you? And I mean, these people will just be standing around talking about this stuff like it's their identity, and their whole personality is what they're against. And I'm like, what are you for? What are you happy
I love
about?
that.
Like, and I ask that all the time. I'm like, well, I don't want to hear what you're against. And like the blank against cancel culture group, I get it. You're against cancel culture, but what are you for?
Exactly.
Like,
yeah, we've had this conversation. It's like, because that is exactly how I feel too. It's like, why, when your whole platform is run on what you are against, and you don't tell, it doesn't seem like that's sustainable long term, unless you're like showing this is what we're for. Like, that's what I love about Red Pill is like when the liberty versus control. That's like such a simple thing to think about. Like, are you for liberty or are you for control? And that's a good litmus test for understanding it.
Exactly. And that's what got me really excited about the whole thing is just, what are we for? We're for liberty. We're for free thinking. We're for equal rights to people. I mean, everybody has a right to exist in the scene. Like, even the people I don't agree with. Like, I mean, I might think certain people out there are freaking idiots. Yeah. But I'm not going to tell you can't come out to my show. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you can't come out like to hang out at a club with me. Everybody's welcome as long as you're not going up and punching someone in the face. And but the only thing the angriest I've ever been at the left is when they were out there celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk. Yes, that was a turning point. Not
for real.
I mean, it's interesting. That's the name of it. I know it literally was a turning point. I wasn't even meaning that, and I'm like, it was a turning point.
A very good double entendre there.
Yeah. I mean, so many people woke up.
And that was
not
when
woke.
I came back.
I'm sorry, they're awake now. Not woke. That's the problem.
That was when I came back and I found my voice again, because I couldn't stand by and watch a group of people celebrate someone dying for sharing an opinion and just wanting to talk to people. Yes. And that, I was like, you know what? If that could happen to him, that could happen to me. It could happen to you guys. It could happen to anyone, just simply because you don't agree with me. And I couldn't stand by and let that happen. And that's why with Red Pill coming around, it all just kind of just pieces of a puzzle that all came together in such a really serendipitous way that I'm glad to be where I'm at now. And this time I'm not alone. So I can say what I need to say. And I know I've got people who are going to come to my defense and say, you know what? She's not a piece of shit, actually,
And Day, you said something very, very interesting about cancel culture itself, and what it really seems to be. And I think it's important to point this out to everyone that's maybe not really sure what we're talking about. They're like, I don't understand this cancel culture thing. It sounds like people are just mad because it's politics and this is just normal, group snobbery. It's deeper than that. What they're trying to cancel is free speech. They're trying to cancel free speech. And when you realize this, they're using these tactics to cancel the Constitution without getting rid of the Constitution. That's what's really happening, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And when you start taking away someone's ability to disagree with you, then that is fascism.
Yes.
It's real fascism, and then they gaslight us with those terms. Yes.
Exactly. And when I hear them screaming at me saying I'm a fascist because I disagree with them, I'm like, you're a fascist, but I'm not going to have that argument with somebody because they're zealots, you know, and you cannot argue with someone who has, you know, transient psychopathy. And that's exactly what this is. Like, you know, they're not necessarily mentally ill. And I think that to sit there and say, you know, to denigrate them and say, oh, you're mentally ill, it minimizes the reality of the situation, that it's a social contagion. It's not them personally. You're taking people who have really low self-esteem, no real social connections, and they just want to fit in. And ultimately, a lot of these people, they're very well-meaning. Like, they have compassion. They probably have too much compassion, and they have nowhere to put it. So that they find these people, and the ones who are higher up, they're predatory, and they say, oh, this person's got a lot of compassion. They have no friends. Join us.
Yep.
Spread the message. And now you've got a freaking Jim Jones situation here. And
that's a great way to point this out. I mean, just to pause a second and think about what you just said. You really just nailed the psychology of how these people are abusing well-meaning people and getting them to basically being the cult of communism is how I see it. Maybe that's not the label, but that's how I see it.
Yeah, no, it is a cult of communism, because what is communism? You know, it's beyond, like you guys are saying, like what is communism versus teamwork? Teamwork is a group of people working towards a common good, but when you're done, you go your separate ways and you do your thing. Communism is, you know, you're working towards a common thing, but it's not benefiting everybody. It's benefiting the people at the top. They just want you to think that you're getting a benefit from it. And you're preying on people who, you know, have become depressed, who have become, you know, disenfranchised by society as a whole, because we're out here, we're busting our asses. We can't afford anything. We can't do anything fun. We have no future. These people don't see a future for themselves because they're not seeing the fruits of their labors. So they're saying, well, what am I going to work for? Just give me a universal income. I'll just sit on my ass and play on my phone. At least I'm happy there. And I'm not, you know, getting yelled at all day, every day by somebody, you know. I can understand where this comes and where this happens. It makes sense. It's just, how do we fix it?
But they forget the disclaimer, which is once you start getting everybody in this cult of communism, like you said, a few people run it, there's no incentives to build a phone company. There's no incentives to make phones, and those things will not be there. That's capitalism. That's free market enterprise has built those things, not communism, and they don't understand that. They just think it magically appears. At least that's what I believe. What are your thoughts on that?
I agree. I think that they've been told incorrectly that capitalism is what's holding them down. It's like, no, capitalism is what's giving you the opportunity to raise yourself up. And, you know, like the joke goes, you hate capitalism because you're not good at it, because capitalism takes hard work. I mean, I work 3 different jobs in 3 different veterinary hospitals, and I come back and do Red Pill, and I'm doing Era Nocturna, and I'm doing writing. I'm all over the place because I want to amount to something. I want, when I die, to have made a life that mattered. And that's not going to happen by sitting on my ass waiting for Papa government to pay my bills. You know, I want to make a difference in this world. But I was also raised by a woman who, you know, grew up in, you know, the 60s and 70s, and she was a Marine. And, you know, I mean, all of my family was military. Actually, I was supposed to be military as well. So I was taught that this country is a great place to be because it gives you the opportunity. It truly is the land of opportunity. It never stopped being that. It's just, it stopped being the land of dreams because people stopped dreaming. They just became, like I said, very disenfranchised. They gave up. And there's still those of us out here, the dreamers, who are saying, like, no, we can make this better. This can be something. But, you know, how do we get them back? They're giving up. They're fading. And it's really sad, honestly. I don't see contempt towards these people. I feel sorry for them because they stopped, you know?
Yeah, it's like seeing, they don't see the bigger picture like what you were talking about before. It's like, it's just seeing this minor, not minor in their eyes, just this microcosm in the moment of what is their focus and what is bothering them right now in this moment, instead of seeing the bigger picture and how all the parts work together. And
they don't have that forethought of what can happen, because all they see is it sucks in the moment. And that's a very immature teenager way of thinking. I mean, I was like that as a teenager for sure. And in my early 20s, I was like, oh, this sucks right now. It's never going to get better. But then, now here I am in my 40s and I'm like, no, like, yeah, it sucks right now. Like, but, it'll get better. I'll just work my way out of it. It'll be okay. And, you've also got a group of people who have zero distress tolerance because everything was fixed for them. They had their helicopter parents coming in and making it all better for them. And they never learned to just sit with the discomfort of whatever their situation is. And they're also suffering from a circumstance of way over validation. When you're on the internet and you get everybody telling you you're right for feeling the way you're feeling, you're going to have this sense
AI is telling you.
AI is saying it's totally fine to want to kill yourself. Like, shit, okay, AI, don't say that. But it will, though, because I remember one time I had a problem about something and I didn't have anybody to talk to, and it was so validating. And I'm like, I don't know about that, though. I think that you need to challenge me a little bit there. And that's why we go to therapists, right? Because they challenge your thinking. They don't let you sit in that and say, you're totally right. Because yes, like, you are valid. Like, I worked in human services. I understand that you do need to validate people's feelings, but you do need to challenge them as well and say, I hear what you're saying. However, I challenge you to reframe this in a way that is going to get you out of this instead of just sitting in it.
And I think that's like something that happens a lot with people, is that instead of listening to that criticism or guidance, I should say guidance, because more guidance than just a criticism of character. And people don't want to listen to that because they get defensive and they want to stick to their ideas and their truth and their experience of it, or like live in that moment of not trauma or those moments that triggered them or upset them. They want to sit in that instead of growing from it.
Right. They don't want to have that cognitive dissonance because it's uncomfortable. And that's the whole point of cognitive dissonance. It's supposed to be uncomfortable. It's supposed to challenge you, because if you can basically sit with that and defend your argument, then you're going to solidify that point within yourself. But if you have someone saying, hey, I don't agree with you, here's why, here's some facts to back it up, you have an opportunity to grow from that. And people don't want to grow. These don't anyway. They want to just hear, no, you're right. The world is a really bad place. All of these people are racist and horrible homophobes. All cops are bad. ACAB, blah, blah, blah. And they don't want to hear about the good situations, the time when the cops saved somebody or when, this happened. No, you're a bootlicker if you think that.
Or every president is all wrong or all good. And that's the thing. It's just mind blowing to me.
Yeah, it's very black or white, black or white. And nothing in life is black or white. It's always going to be nuanced. And again, this is people who suffer from a lack of emotional intelligence, a lack of distress tolerance, a lack of real direction. They lack the guidance because their parents, like I said, were doing everything for them, or their parents weren't home and they had to self-soothe and they got to the internet to do it. So
could some of this be the school system that taught them to feel this way?
Absolutely. My mother was a lawyer within the school system, and she told me a lot of horror stories about the teachers who just would validate the crap out of these kids. And she saw the change because she came up in probably like the late 90s, and it was much different. And then something happened around 2012-ish where everything became a cause. Everything became you're valid for feeling this way. And then as time went on, it was, oh, this 5-year-old, he's wearing, colors. He must be gay. And it really devolved very fast, incredibly fast. And that's just social engineering. I mean, there's just no way
Please highlight the social engineering aspect, because that's what I'm always saying. And I think that's the part that I'm always trying to tell people is this is social engineering. This is psychological warfare 101. And I've said this for so long now that when I hear people like you say this, please, if you don't mind, please elaborate on the social engineering aspect, how that could be working, and all this is kind of interconnected. If you see it that way, that's how I see it.
Yeah, no, I think that, again, social engineering in this case, I mean, it's all predatory. Now, where is it coming from? My little conspiracy theory mind goes, it's the people up the top. It's those, shadow government,
Yes.
Oligarch types who want us all down here fighting because they don't want us working together. Because remember what happened when we worked together? We had like that, other 99 or the 99 percenters or whatever was going on, those whole protests and everything. I don't think they want us to be like that. They want us to basically just shut up and take our scraps and fight, and they can go over here and just keep doing whatever they're doing. I mean, that's my conspiracy version of it, because David Icke, I love him.
Me too.
He's great, right? But the social engineering aspect of it, I think that they likely intentionally made people weaker through the school systems, and that they preyed upon them in their 20s, and now those people are now preying upon the kids that are in the school system now.
That's
and
true.
They're further breaking it down.
And yeah, because I know that started like I know we're around the same age, and I know that started like probably when we were in like kindergarten, first grade is when the education system became federalized, and I remember seeing it change. I didn't recognize it at that time because I was a kid, but looking back on it now, I see how it did start to change. But I mean, I think especially after like graduating high school, seeing how different it was, because I took a few years off before I went back to college. And when I went back to college and I saw how some of these kids were that were just a few years younger than me, and I was just like, what the F? Like, how are you incapable of writing papers?
Like, or telling time, or writing it in cursive. Like, you want to confuse a freaking kid from Gen X or Gen Z, rather, put up a regular clock, an analog clock, write in cursive, and, start using military time or something. They're going to be freaking old. And it's sad, but these people can't, I don't know, they can't reason themselves out of a paper bag. And it's really, really, really sad. I used to hate them. I used to say, like, you guys are pathetic, you're pieces of crap. And it slips out from time to time, but I just feel sorry for them. I do. But they're the ones who are going to suffer in the end. We're over here, like, living our lives. We're building movements. We're going to elevate ourselves. Where are they going to be? Sitting in their government apartments, on Section 8, playing on their Obama phone, and, not amounting to anything.
Yeah, and I think, that's the part that they don't advertise. Once you get to the Obama phone point where everybody gets a free one and nobody's making one, nobody gets one. That goes away. And you said something about, and you kind of said something about it being a conspiracy, but if people just look at history, psychological warfare and these kind of attacks from other countries have happened forever. So I don't see it, I don't take it as it has to be some big conspiracy. There are other countries that it's in their best interest to make us less productive, right? I mean, does that make sense too in this equation?
Oh yeah, this is totally Hunger Games society at this point. You'll have nothing and you'll be happy, and that's what we're doing. I mean, this essentially does feel like it's crazy, because I always love reading dystopian fiction. I never wanted to live in it.
Oh yes. Well, here we are. We're in the underground now.
I was like, Jesus Christ, I'm living in Hunger Games, because you look at, like, for instance, when they have like the Oscars and everything, they look as ridiculous as those people in the Hunger Games, and you're just like, are you serious? Like, what is going on with this? And then we're over here just like in the dirt, like going, oh, they're working so hard to get you your stupid ass fur coat.
Thank you for pointing that out, because it's real. It's like, it's not. I couldn't even like. I couldn't even. I needed to get nobody was around to go, hey, look at Hunger Games is happening in real time. And now we're talking about it so much time later. It's just like, yeah, that was shocking to me.
Like the Met Gala. I mean, that's
really bad.
Like they're walking around in like cardboard things and their hair's and you're just like, I just got bled on all day by animals, and I'm like eating my mac and cheese, just like hating my life, and I'm watching these assholes in dresses made of dollar bills, and you know, it's like, is this real life? What are we living in right now?
I guess that's why I couldn't complete my thought earlier, because every time I'm glad you brought it up, because like I kind of had to ignore it. Like I had to kind of put it in the back of my mind, because I'm like, this is just, am I okay? Because I'm seeing something that's just shouldn't be, and it's nice to talk to other people that are seeing these perspectives. We're not.
It does.
Insane.
It does. It feels like I'm losing my mind sometimes, and that's why when I used to like, you know, guilty pleasure watch the Kardashians and things, because I was like, man, these girls are stupid. Let's watch this. And now I'm just like, I can't watch this. This is horrifying, because it's Idiocracy in real time.
Yeah.
That too. Idiocracy was a documentary.
Yeah.
It totally became a documentary. I'm like, oh my God, I'm living this. And PCU, that movie, I don't know if you guys ever saw that one. That also became a documentary. It's Port Chester University, but it was PC University, and it was all the different social groups fighting each other
I haven't seen that
at this one college. It's so funny.
You seen that one, Sarah?
No, I have not seen that one.
Oh my God, try to find it. It's hysterical.
I will.
It's because they have this whole thing with like, they're going to have a protest, but they're not going to protest. So they protested protesting, and that's how they ended up.
They protested protest. Okay, come on.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So they had the lesbians, like the man-hating lesbians who were fighting for women's rights. You had the angry Black Panther guys. You had the stoners over here. You had the earth crunchy like hippies over here. Like it was just all of these different social groups working together, or working against each other. But at the end, they have to work together to fight the school getting shut down or something. I don't know what the hell was going on. I can't remember. But it's, you watch it now and you're like, this actually happened. This sucks, you know. And it was a comedy back then. Now it's just sad.
Yeah.
So
I'll give a little conspiracy shout out to Alex Jones, because I listened to him for many years, and he always said this. He always said, and I'm not saying there's some big group or not. I don't know, but it is very true that there's a lot of these things that get projected into movies or art or somehow into the culture right at these times, and then they come true, and it's too coincidental. Like, what was the movie that happened right around COVID? Do you remember that one? There's a movie that happened right at or before COVID that was almost like
it was Contagion.
Contagion.
It was a few years before COVID.
Yeah,
but
just a couple years before COVID. I mean, how do you do that? How do you plan that, right? And was it pretty on the nose or what?
It was like totally prophetic. It definitely. And I remember because I'm really big into aliens and all that stuff, and I remember this individual. I think he worked for MI something or other. It was Majestic 13 or whatever, Majestic 12, and he said that a lot of the alien movies we're watching are actually training us to be okay with the idea that, you know, aliens are out there, and they started out really sweet and cute, like E.T., and he's totally our friend. But then as time went on, we started to see them being a little bit more like, what if they were violent? What if they were evil? What if they're here to harvest our organs? And it's almost like they were trying to get us used to the idea that this isn't going to be okay when this happens. This is going to suck. But then we have the good guys over here who want to help us. And I don't know. I definitely believe that there's some weight to the whole thing. I mean, now they're doing like all the, you know, the disclosure and everything, which I think is also a psyop. I think that they're not telling us all of it. But I think that, I mean, the government kind of seeds it through culture, you know, and I think that happened with COVID. I think that's happened with a lot of everything that's happened in like Hunger Games. I mean, we're living it, you know?
So,
not that long
so can
after.
I tell you one of my crazy, and I don't think it's a crazy conspiracy, because I think other people have talked about it, but like you're saying, you know, the alien thing being projected is one thing. What what I feel, and this I feel like this is maybe, and I'm not saying that's not a possibility, but what I'm seeing right now is people getting isolated. They're addicted to their phones right now. We talk through this medium, which is AI controlled internet, databases, and digital world. Well, it just feels like they're trying to get us ready for the Matrix, like the next level of going into the Matrix for real. Now we're in these echo chambers on purpose. We're like psychological in these echo chambers, and soon people are gonna be like begging for like the implant that puts them in their own reality where everything's perfect for them. I think that's gonna be a hell, but that's interesting.
There's a really
lost
cool
a battery.
Yeah.
Oh no, you lost your battery.
I was
Look
like,
at that.
hey,
As
the
I was
battery's
talking,
out.
the AI shut my camera
I know.
down.
I was like,
They said you said
I'm like,
too
how
much.
do I
You wrote
say
too much.
anything? I'm like, I saw it and I didn't want to
And I'm
interrupt
dead.
you.
They came and got you, man. They said shut him up.
Got who?
But there's a
It's funny
fantastic.
you see me like leaning forward to tell you. I just saw it on the camera. Oops.
There's a fantastic book called Sycamore. I don't know if you guys have read it.
I have not.
It's all right. So let me see who wrote it for you. But it's a book basically about a guy who invents a microchip that you can implant into the hand, and it turns your palm into a trackpad basically.
Okay.
And then you have these contact lenses that are your screen. And using your hand, you can do gestures in order to basically see stuff on the screen. So people are going around with like their beauty filters. They're going around with ads coming up while they're driving, seeing, the weather reports and all this stuff. So everything's done through this, and you never take the contacts out and you never take the microchip out. And as time goes on, the main guy takes out his contact lenses and he sees that the whole world is just the disaster. Everybody looks like shit. And we've become like a complete wasteland, but nobody sees it because they're stuck inside this program, essentially. And it was probably one of the scariest books I've ever read because I'm seeing it happen. And, because look, how many of us actually look like what we put ourselves out there to look like? I mean, everybody's using their little CapCut filters and, everybody's got their little beautification shit. Like even when I signed on to this thing, it was like, you can clean up your appearance. And I'm like, what the fuck did I put all my makeup on for then?
I'll just sit here with a filter on.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's the exact point. And is like they're creating the digital avatar. We're getting so used to the digital avatar, the digital everything, that when we slowly get put into this digital world, this echo chamber for real, we're gonna we have fake music, we have fake art, we have fake. Not saying all AI is bad and fake, but we're getting like slowly fed this stuff to where it seems more normal. Like I know you're a musician and I love virtual instruments, but man, when you hear a real analog synthesizer next to a virtual one, and you hear everybody online, they're like, no, it's the same. You can't tell a difference.
No, it's
Absolutely
not.
You can tell the
you
difference.
absolutely can feel a difference. That's the thing.
You can feel it. You can hear it. It's just.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I think that I think the future's not going to be like the Matrix. I think it's going to be more like cyberpunk, where everybody's getting these implants and changing how they see things and, doing these virtual reality, traipses into, physical relationships and stuff. Cause nobody's going to prostitutes. You're just going and sitting in a freaking dentist chair, hooking up to, VR and doing the business that way. You don't even need to touch anybody. And, it's kind of crazy, but I do think that is more in line with what we're going to be seeing coming down the pike, especially with the implants and stuff that they're talking about doing to us. I'm like, oh no, I'm good. I don't need all that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm a cyborg though. I mean, I'm literally a cyborg. So.
We're the rebel cyborgs. We're all the rebel cyborgs, and that's the whole red pill thing. I think is the rebellion from the underground, right?
I actually have a physical implant, so I am bionic.
Awesome. So you're supercharged already. You're already leveled way up. So we're going to be relying on you.
I can't feel my legs. I can, but they don't hurt no more. But yeah, like, I mean, anybody who has stuff like that, pacemakers, spinal cord stimulators, anything like that, that's a bionic human. I mean,
Yeah, and I'm not demonizing technology because I think exactly what you're saying is like there's so much. I hate it because I love technology, and but it's in human nature to take that technology and use it, and AI included, everything included, for its worst, for controlling people as opposed to letting people be free, creative, and prosperous. So I think that's where we're on board from the Red Pill's perspective. We want to see freedom, and whereas the control mechanism is really trying to get people as quick as possible to give up their freedom.
Yeah, I think AI should be used as a tool, not as a replacement. Like I use it for school.
Yeah.
I use it for school a lot. Like I'll say, hey, here are my research parameters. Go find me sources so that I don't have to go look for them. And then I use those sources that I've brought back to generate my own paper. Like I just wrote a 23-page paper for school. And if I didn't have AI to help me with that, I would have been there for months trying to research all this shit. And so that's a great tool. Or
that's what
AI
I love about, especially like you said earlier about like ADHD and stuff. It's like, it's like it helps you like organize your thoughts. Is what the biggest thing I found from it. I'm like, okay, this is where my thoughts are going right here, right here, right here. Align them for me, please, and help me get from A to B. Because how my mind works is I go A, C, D, G, and then I'll finally get to B. And so it's like it slows it down.
Absolutely. Because I think every single person with ADHD needs a personal assistant of some kind. And AI has become my thing because I'm screwed because I don't have a lot of supports in my life for the ADHD stuff. So like when my little like AI thing, there's actually an app I've been testing that Vlad had me speak to someone about. It's called Barefoot, and it has like an AI chatbot that you can go in and talk to about certain things, and it will challenge you. It's actually one of the few AI that I've ever seen where it says, hey, you've got this negative thought pattern here. Why don't we challenge that with this instead? And I'm like, okay, this could be really useful.
Is it a cycle? Is it like a counseling tool, or is it just a normal like chat bot that's analyzing you?
It's a self-care app. So it has, it can do voice analysis to see how stressed out you are.
Oh, wow.
And it really pegged me because like on a day like today where I'm chill as hell, it's like, yeah, you ain't stressed. You're chilling like a villain. I'm like, yes, I am. And then I come out of work one day and I'm like, and they're like, your stress levels are very high. And I'm like, yes, they are. And it will suggest like different things like, sensory things like butterfly tapping. It's like you kind of go like this and that kind of like helps get you out of like a panic attack. It's really good for first responders and veterans, I think. And I think that's the whole point, especially people like me with traumatic jobs. It's helpful. And then that the AI part of it and the chat bot comes in to say, hey, I noticed you were having this type of response to this. Let's talk about it. And you do. And it says, hey, that really sucks. I'm sorry you're feeling like that. Why don't we talk about doing this instead? Have you thought about trying this? Have you thought about trying that? And it redirects, which I think is a huge help. I don't think that ChatGPT ever really does that. It doesn't redirect. It says, I'm sorry you're feeling sad. You have every reason to feel sad.
Especially if you have it set to its normal parameters without like putting like things up. But there was something that's actually interesting. It's like, and it'll segue into what you're doing with writing as well, because there's something when you were discussing that about this chat bot that you were talking to about it in my book that's coming out. It's more so in the second book, like in discussion of like how the AIs are, is like everyone has their own personal agent that like monitors them in their home and stuff. And that's one of the things, like it reads like, it's someone asked about my Garmin watch earlier, and it's like that also is a thing that the AI is reading in it, that it's like, oh, so I see that your heart rate is high right here and your nutrition, your insulin is a little low. Why don't you drink this orange juice to help yourself feel better? And then it's like monitoring everything about people, like to help people like work through things in their mind, and then also to understand like what it, like health wise what they're needing for like nutrition and stuff. And so I just wanted to bring that in there because it's crazy that to see that how it is happening and like what we likely will lead towards. And so I know, and then I'm going to go into like, so I know you're writing as well. Like, I thought that was interesting to find out that there's so many of us that are writing books or have written books. And how did that like, how did you evolve? Have you always written, or did it just like something that you evolved into from your music, or how did that come about?
Oh, I've always been a writer, even from like, so interestingly enough, I'm severely dyslexic. And I took a really long time learning how to read and everything. And I was borderline like illiterate up until about age 9. And typical to people with ADHD, once I had the right teacher, I exploded. And then I became a total bibliophile, totally loved to write. And I wasn't the best at writing until about 6th, 7th grade, when I finally met a teacher who got my way of writing and understood like, this is how she thinks, this is how she puts things together. And from that point on, I was writing short stories, I was writing novels. Like I've written so many different novels that I've never published. And I think this year was the year that I finally said, you know what, I'm gonna just do it. I'm gonna write a book that I really want to write and put it out there. So it's always just kind of been something in the background, but I just never did much with it. I did release a book of short stories years ago. I published it on Lulu. It was called The Expectant Failure, and it was just a bunch of like really like angry short stories from like my teens, I think. And I read them back now and I'm like, damn girl, I'm glad you got out of that. Because that was a little bit sad. But the stuff I write now is mostly like urban fantasy type of stuff. A lot of supernatural vampire type, type things. But the one that I'm currently working on is about a girl who continually ended her own life, and in punishment for that, the system, the reincarnation system that we all live within, has punished her, and now she has to be the hand of justice for souls that have fucked up. And when they fucked
really
up,
cool.
Yeah, that sounds very cool.
I know. I can't wait to read it.
There's so many talented
I know.
people in this that have been, like you said, have been canceled and they feel isolated. So it's great to hear, all these people working on so much amazing non-AI work. It's out there, and that's what we hope to really bring about with the Red Pill Network, is get all these people together and show all these people that are saying, hey, it's all AI. No, there's lots of amazing human talent out there. You just have to come support it, because if you're just focusing on the negative, you're not going to see all the amazing stuff.
right? Because there's aspects of AI to like my writing and stuff. Like, sometimes I'm stuck in a part, and I'm like, hey, what could I do with this?
Yes.
Or how could I say this better? But the story's all me. I wrote the whole damn thing. Same thing with my music. Like, it's all me. I just use AI to master it because I suck at mastering. That stuff's hard, or artwork. Like, I'm not good at generating logos. So of course AI is going to help me with that. But the ideas are original. So you're augmenting it. And it's like hating on AI is like hating on chicks who wear makeup.
Yeah.
Because I don't look like this day to day. I look like a damn potato. And like you're gonna sit there and say don't wear makeup because it makes you look different. Like AI is the same thing. It's like, yes, there's people who abuse it and use it for everything. But there's those of us out here who really do genuinely use it as a tool. And I think that it's, to denigrate it and just say like, no, this is crap. You're losing out on the potential for some really cool artwork and really cool books and create music just because you're saying like, I don't want to use it because of AI. Honestly, how would you know? If like, I mean, yeah, some of the memes and stuff that we generate in Red Pill, yeah, it's obvious it's AI. But I wouldn't know that you edited your book with AI. I wouldn't know that someone made music with AI. How am I gonna? It's just like the politics thing. How am I gonna know? You know?
I think it's I know it's like some people think that using AI to like with writing with and stuff, they just like have it, just write it, put it out there, just go with that instead of, but I used it in the same way, and I still do in the way that you're saying, that it's like, okay, look at this chapter. My mind is like thinking this is where I want to go. Walk me through, or tell me like what is making sense here, what is not making sense, and then I'll go in and I will do that, because it helps, again, back to the thing of like getting your mind focused. It's like, okay, I see that now where I was going with this, and so the pathway to get there. And it's like it's a helpful, like I even use it as like a beta reader and stuff too, because it's a helpful thing, like, and if you have it set up correctly and not just as like the basic thing, it'll help you get to where you need to. And I love it for that.
Yeah. And I mean, it's no different than having an editor, you know, an editor's going to help you find plot holes. Well, this is cheaper, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Because it caught that for me. And it like, I think it was Claude that read it, or it was my open Claude that I had at one point. It read it as like, you know, you changed the name here. Like, I'm not sure who you're referring to. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that's true. I missed that. Like, I totally missed that. So I was talking about somebody who isn't actually in it at that point. So it's amazing too. It's so helpful with that.
Well, I think in that's some of the argument against AI is there are people that feel like they have to compete with it now, and you do to an extent. If you're an editor, you may lose some work to AI unless you adopt it as an editor and say, hey, not only are you getting the human value of editing your book, I'm using AI to supercharge that, so I'll get it done faster and better. So there's still a component for people that were going to go to an editor anyway.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of people that they can't afford it, or they don't want to do that. So it's just a tool. And I think what I'm hearing, like this kind of like theme about a lot of these topics it's just the mindset. Like,
it is. It's really all about that.
If you're a negative mindset, everything seems like it's bad, and you can't see the value in it. And that goes from everything from cancel culture to the tools changing to the future, right?
Yeah, and I mean that's sad.
It is, and I feel like that's our goal. Is we need to change that mindset and actually start showing people, you know, hey, here's the things that we can do and achieve. Yeah, not the things that are bad necessarily. How we overcome those things.
I mean, to your point about the competition aspect of like competing against AI, it's like there's always going to be someone better than you at something. So how is that any different?
Yeah, absolutely. Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
I mean, and there's some, like when you said talk about mastering, or even, you know, there are people out there that, I'm sorry, AI has not reached that level. There's a component of all. I see AI as right now today as just an advanced Google search. Really, it just aggregates all that, it pattern matches. And it does a little bit more than that. Now, the scary thing that you were both talking about was when it starts analyzing voice and speech patterns. It's probably analyzing mine, and then it can start figuring out how you feel. That scares me a little bit more. I gotta be, because in the wrong hands, you just created a master manipulator, right? I mean, beyond what it's already doing by manipulating the internet, using flock cameras, doing whatever it does. Now it's going to actually feel human emotion in real time and maybe adjust in the wrong hands. I'm not being negative here, but in the wrong hands, we have to be smart about this stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, it kind of reminds me of Ex Machina and how he was brought in to do the Turing test, and she was able to because it was a female robot, but it was still an was able to manipulate him. And I see that can totally happen. And this, like I said, this barefoot app thing that I was using or I'm still testing, it really gets it. It gets it dead on. It can tell the level of stress I'm having. And I think it's going based on pressured speech and how your breathing is, and there's different things that it's picking up on, but it is really scary how accurate it is.
And I'll say the other thing, used for good, I mean, that's amazing. I don't want to sound so negative because I mean, I see all the possibilities of something like that. I'm like, gosh, we have to just, it's all about people. We need to make sure that the people have good intentions. And if they don't, that's where we need to put the pressure, right?
Well, and that's unfortunately, I mean, you know, there's always going to be some evil asshole out there who wants to do something because they think that this is going to be their way to get to the top of the hill, you know, and, you know, so we have to be better at not fighting each other and start looking at those people, because I don't give a shit if you're trans. I don't give a shit if you're gay. I don't care who you voted for. All I need to know is your name and are you a jerk?
Yeah. And that's why it's like I know it like that's why we didn't like, and I know Patriot Goth is like gone now, but I know that's why we weren't censoring people. We were letting people speak in there in Patriot Goth because I know that's what Hans wanted was for people to be able to share that, even if it wasn't. So like people that were coming in that were being, you know, were very leftist and they were trying to chastise us and stuff. We were letting them speak because that was the point. Was we wanted people to speak because we didn't want to act in the same way that they did by shutting people down.
So for the audience really quick, I want anybody that's not aware, Patriot Goth was a group that we started kind of alongside with Red Pill, and our whole goal with that group, the creator, was to have a free speech place as free as possible on Facebook as possible. And we gained popularity quickly, really quickly. But just by letting people say what they want to say. That doesn't mean we agree with all of it. It just means that people need to be able to speak. Obviously, there's terms of services, but it seems like there's a lot of people that weaponize that. And we got banned just like, that's what happened. So maybe tell the story. I'll let somebody else kind of take the story and how quickly it rose, and then all of a sudden how quickly the technology and the meta AI decided that we were not able to speak, which I think is another big issue that we deserve a full show for, or 2 shows, or 3. This is beyond cancel culture. This is weaponized technology cancel culture, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree. It was definitely weaponized. And, you know, these same people who were screaming AI slop had no problem using AI to report it.
Yeah.
So, you know,
they love it.
Or like that's like in colleges and stuff, like our daughter had written a paper and she's like, I wrote this paper and they're telling me that it's AI. And it's like they use AI to check the paper to see if it is AI. And it's so funny. I know, it's so ridiculous, isn't it? It's like, yeah.
Like, what?
It's
ridiculous.
My AI is bigger than your AI.
Yeah, my AI told me that my AI told me you're using AI. But a lot of times, and what it's funny is it's like you just write like a person who can actually speak. And it's like I know I faced a big thing because I use the M dash a lot. Like I was using it a lot in writing because I love M dash. It's like if you look at my older books, I use the M dash constantly in it. But then people are like, that's a sign of AI. That AI wrote this. And it's like, no, I did that because I love the freaking M dash. But sorry, I went on a tangent.
You have M dash drama, don't you? Maybe we should get the bear, what's it called? Barefoot?
Yeah, Barefoot.
She needs that app to help her out with her M dash trauma.
To help me understand my M dash trauma. Well, I think it was the TikTok trauma is what it is, because like people on there are so like, yeah.
That's the thing. Like the internet is just such a, I don't know, it's such a dirty pool, unfortunately, because like everybody, like we had such an opportunity, like back in the day, like we had this beautiful opportunity to have all of this knowledge. I mean, this thing in our hands, these phones, we have the world of knowledge at our fingertips, and what are we doing? We're using it to fight with each other.
Yeah.
But isn't that
Like,
human nature, though? I mean, that's
is.
the history, right?
It's sad. It's so sad. And you're just like, oh my God, guys, like we could do so much better. Like,
Yeah.
and you're mad at because, some person with blue hair says you voted for this person and you don't like it. And this person who happens to vote for, and go to church says that they don't like this. It's like the stuff that people fight about is just ridiculous. And I mean, I get irritated mostly just on like lazy thinking and absolute vulgarity and things like that. Those are the things that kind of piss me off. But I don't care who you voted for. I don't care who you believe in, whatever. Just don't infringe on my rights. That's essentially where I draw the line, is when you tell me I can't speak because you don't like what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I go, we're done.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know human nature is to kind of fight, and we do these things. But I also believe, and I will say, I believe most people are good people. I really believe most people want the same thing. They want to prosper. They want their families to be safe. They want to walk outside and just have an amazing time. And they want a society that, they feel free and prosperous in. With that said, this is something I feel is important to point out, is that AI, to me, feels like what's been weaponized through social media is like this toxic, sort of like gossipy person. Like if you remember, like in school, you always had those people that would go around from their friend group to friend groups and weaponize and say lies and everything. Well, I feel like that's been supercharged with AI because we don't. That is happening at the nanosecond level with AI systems, or even with just standard automation and databasing. You can now affect the psychology of people, what they perceive about other people, based on the fact that they filter everything through this lens of the internet. The internet can affect that. I mean, you see it on Facebook especially. I mean, it decides what you see. It decides how many of your friends see your posts. Sometimes that's only like a few of them, right? Like you post something and like, 1% of your friends actually see it? Mm-hmm. That's insane. I don't think people realize that.
No,
they don't realize it's happening.
You have to go to see your friends' feed. Like you have to have the selection to see only friends and not the.
Even then, your posts don't hit most of those people.
No, like you have to do specific things so that people will see them, and it's like
they control your perception.
Yeah, they do, and they, and then again, it's the whole social engineering side of things. But I think I come at humanity from a different standpoint because I've seen how bad it can get. Like I was a paramedic. Like I've seen how dark humanity can be, and I also seen some incredible acts of heroism, English, and altruism and kindness in the world. From people who didn't need to do that. And so. I don't think all hope is lost. I think that just the internet is a place for us to really just exercise a lot of our frustrations, because most people aren't going to go up to a random stranger and say you're a piece of shit. But on the internet, you grow a set and you can say it and and it's kind of like that anonymous place. It's a fight club, essentially. I mean, I think that if we really look at it, it's a giant ass fight club, and we just let it all out here. And, we get all feral, and then we go out to the rest of the world. And, if we're reasonably well-balanced people, we're not going to be, doing that in person. But, yeah.
No, I totally agree with you. And then another part of this needs to be that people are informed about how the technology works. I feel like there's like the silent majority, right? Most of the people sitting back, they're adults. They're watching this. They're not exactly sure why it's happening. They're still confused about what's going on. They don't understand how manipulative the technology is. They know they don't like it, but they know that it's having this horrible effect. So then they just reject it altogether, and then they don't see the positives or the negatives.
It's true.
I think what we need to do is inform good people and people that have, which is most of the population, that this technology can be weaponized against you, and we can turn that around real quick as soon as people understand how it's working and how it's manipulating them. That's my belief. I'm probably wrong, but I hope so.
Hope in
I think you're
humanity.
right. Education is incredibly important,
Yes.
and like I think also just talking. Like you know, all of us just sat down and did tonight. You know, even in the chat, I've been watching the chat. Like we're all just having a dialogue, and I don't think that every single person agrees with me. I don't want everybody to agree with me because that's boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you
It's
know,
an
I
echo
think
chamber when they do.
yeah, like nobody needs that.
No.
But you know, we all just need to talk because man, like I've learned so much just from talking to you guys and from you know from the groups and just listening and just hearing different ideas. Like you grow that way.
Yes.
So
Yes, you do.
and growth isn't bad. That people need to stop being afraid of growing. It's not
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's why I think I don't remember where we came. I was talking with someone. I don't even remember who now. Somebody recently. We were discussing like I think it might have been Frost. People that are better than you are at things. That you want those people around you. You don't want people who are like dragging you down. You want people who are like doers and growing and evolving, and that is the thing that is like that helps us as humans. I think that, you know, when people run around and they are like Eeyore or Charlie Brown, and it's always a wah, wah, and it's like, you know, you gotta, I mean, people have moments, yes, they do, but it's like you have to, it's the mindset of constantly moving forward and doing things and evolving yourself and growing as a human being, and then having people around you that do the same.
Yeah, you rise up to like the people that
Yes.
you're like. I hang out with scientists and doctors all damn day. Like that is my job, is to hang out with people who have like advanced level degrees, and that has made me a better nurse because I'm with these people and I'm seeing these ideas and they collaborate with me now. Like
Yeah.
and it's kind of awesome because when I started, I was just a receptionist. I was just the chick answering the phone. And now in the past 6 years, I've climbed up because I've been around those people, and I've elevated myself. And same thing with like, you know, hanging out with someone like Vlad. Like he's very well read, very, very worldly in the sense of like, you know, he has these different opinions on things. And, you know, when I'm over here like crashing out about something, he's like, hey, let's talk about this. And he kind of sets me in the right direction. Rebecca does too. And those are people that I respect, and I elevate myself because of that energy.
Yes.
So, you know, we need that. Like, you know, Frost is right. If that's who it was, you know, we need to hang out with people we aspire to become.
Yes.
And I think right there, I'm going to have to say that's the goal. And that's exactly what cancel culture doesn't want. They want to keep us all divided because they know the minute they get people start coming together in shows like this, in places like Patriot Goth, in places like Red Pill, and many other shows out there that I've seen canceled left and right and taken down by this technocracy, by cancel culture. That's the war on keeping, you know, they want to keep people in this state where we're not able to communicate. Because once we do, it's over for them, and they know it. So that's our whole mission.
Exactly. And that's how we're gonna defeat it. It's just, I think that if we stop looking at it like, oh, you're a stupid libtard, and we just say, hey, why do you think that? What is informing this opinion that you're having right now? And just, if they tell you to go screw yourself, whatever. Like, but I want to approach it from a point of curiosity of, why are you saying I'm a fascist? What about you? What about what I've said makes you think I'm a white supremacist? I want to know, because maybe they're just misinformed, you know, or maybe they're just an angry person having a bad day and they just want to punch someone in the face.
Yeah.
You know?
Now, I know that is good. I like to, speaking with each other is definitely the thing that we need to do instead. And I'm hearing that from you, that it's like not closing off to people just because they have a different opinion, or if they're, because I think that is what we get into. We as humans will get into the habit of and it goes back to the defensive thing that I said earlier, that it's like people are like, they don't, it may, if they're around, sometimes if you're around someone and they are more elevated than you, or they are more like experienced than you. Because I was thinking of this as you said that, like as we're all working together, and it's like the technology thing and stuff. It's like I'm new to stuff, but it's like I get it, and it's like that's what I love working with, and it's like that's what I've learned from Rob, and then also working with Vlad and Frost on things, and it's like awesome to just like be able to have these conversations with people and to grow from it, like to learn things. And I think people sometimes when they're faced with that, they get defensive and thinking that they need to be like, well, I can do this, or you know what I mean? Like the defensiveness, like they feel like threatened by it. That's the word I was looking for. They feel threatened by somebody who can do something. And instead of seeing it as a learning opportunity, they put a wall up.
Yeah, it's the sense of inadequacy that people have when they see someone who's better at something. I mean, I totally live with imposter syndrome, like really bad. I'm always like, oh God, everybody's gonna think I'm a freaking idiot. I don't know what I'm doing. Turns out I actually do know what I'm doing. Like Vlad will say that all the time. He's like, no, you're doing good. And I'm like, are you sure? Because I'm over here like, I don't know what I'm doing, man. But, you know, because I do, I suffer from that. We all do. It's human nature to like kind of just doubt yourself, but you can't let that monkey on your back just slap you in the face and stop you from growing. Just feel it and just say, yeah, you know, I'm uncomfortable, but I'm gonna figure it out. And if I look stupid, I look stupid. I mean, I'm not gonna die.
Yeah.
I'll just look dumb, you know, like, okay.
And then you learn from it.
Exactly.
That's what I try to look at because it is, I know in the past I have been in that like mindset of being defensive and not wanting to, and like, well, what are you talking about? I'm fine and stuff, instead of seeing it as a learning opportunity. And now it's like, I love learning from things and like growing from it to continue moving forward in life. And that's why I think it's amazing, like being around everybody and Red Pill Alternative, our little crew of people building in the background. And I just think it's awesome.
Yeah. I think we all just, you know, if we shift our mindset and we, you know, be the example, I think the rest will follow in time.
Well, that's exactly what communism doesn't want. They want to control everyone. They want to have everybody down at the same level. They want to push everyone down. Whereas we're talking about, you know, the free market, free enterprise, freedom is trying to elevate people above your skill level, because everybody's going to get elevated in the long run. But this war on you know, the billionaires, I mean, I understand. I'm not saying there's not corruption in corporate and in government entities, but they lack to see that these things are connected. Like the government power and the control gets connected to the corporate entities, and they're hand in hand. It's not two separate things.
No, it's all together. It's all gonna come out one day that, you know, we've all just been played. And you know, the sooner we figure that out for ourselves and start fixing and self-correcting, then, you know, the power that they have over us is gone.
Well, they don't want us to remember the power that we have, which is the forming of this country. I mean, this country itself is the power of people to actually, you know, unite and go for the free enterprise and the free market. And that's what they don't want. That's what I feel like. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to keep us separated. They're trying to keep us divided. They're trying to keep us silent. And I feel like that's the narrative. And we need.
They want us to forget our origins. They want to forget where we came from.
Yeah, absolutely. They don't even want us talking about that. That's all bad. And then I think it's important to point out why. And I think the more people learn why they're doing this, they'll realize that that's really the thing that's holding us back from having you know, our situations improve.
Right. So they got to take that red pill and wake the hell up.
Yes,
they do.
Exactly.
I think that's a good segue too. Is there any, Sarah, do you mind going over the chats and see if there's anything in the chats? And maybe
they've just been talking, commenting on stuff as we've been talking. it's a little bit delayed in the chat than what our conversation is, so I have to kind of look back and see. Does anybody in the chats have any questions for Day?
Yeah, any questions for Day?
Why are you so awesome?
Yes. Why are you that'll be my question while we're waiting for questions. Why are you so awesome, Day?
I don't know. Just talent, I guess.
I know. I'm so glad we had you on. Like, I am.
I'm glad I came on. This was fun.
I know.
All right, favorite. So music discussion for the music people out there. So your favorite digital. What do you use to record music?
FL Studio and Pro Tools, Logic.
Oh, you use Logic?
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite thing about FL Studio?
I really love the step record function on there because I'm not the strongest keyboard player, so I like being able to kind of just click out what I'm hearing in my head and build it out that way.
Yeah, that's funny that you said that because I came from FL Studio and then I moved over many different digital audio workstations. I think that's the one thing that's frustrated me about FL Studio. I've been playing with it a little bit, but I forgot, it's very mouse centric. So if you're mouse centric, I see why people would love it. And I've kind of gotten to the point where I've kind of moved away from that, and now I'm trying to come back at it. But there's so many amazing. It's so advanced now. It's come such a long way.
It's come a long way from like when I was on it, like from the first time, because I used to use Rebirth and all that. And
Rebirth was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like OG. I wish they still made that, but in like Cubase and all, I still use Cubase a little bit, but and Ableton I use sometimes for like the more live stuff, but FL Studio has just come so far, especially with like the piano roll and everything. Like when they brought that out, I was like, wow, this is awesome, And some of their plugins are just amazing. Like I really love the Citrus plugin, and I used the hell out of that on Lackluster, and some of the newer ones, like I don't know, I'm really into it. So that's my thing.
I do have a question from the comments.
Yo.
It came from Grimrune. I think you know who that is.
Yeah, it's my girl.
I know. It's Rebecca. She asked, when am I going to see that manuscript come across my table, eh?
Soon, I hope. It's done. I just have to finish up some of the continuity errors.
Yeah. That's the thing I struggled with. Like you were talking earlier about not knowing when things are done and continuing to go. It's like I don't know how many times I changed the ending of this book and I changed parts in it, but I think I've always loved the quote too that says I forget who said it. They said no surprise in the writer, then there's no surprise in the reader. And I mean, I think that's so true because it's like things will come about and it's like, oh, but then you think you're done, but you're not done. And so Rebecca is amazing. Are you going to be publishing through her with Grimrune?
I would think so, yeah. I think that would be definitely where I'm going to go because I don't want to go through a publisher that's going to force me to change. And, I've always been a DIY. I'm a punk at heart. Everything's always about DIY with me. And I refuse to let the corporations rule how I do my art. And I know how it would be. They'd say, oh, this is great, but you need more of a love story.
Yeah.
Oh, smut is really popular right now. Let's go for smut. And it's like,
yeah,
there's a little bit of it in the book, but it's like, I don't want it to be the whole thing, but that's like a huge market right now. Like,
I know.
Damn, want to write some prawn, you're good.
Yeah. That's not my first books were love stories, and I always said that they were love stories. They weren't romance novels, and it's like people would read it and they'd get pissed because they'd be like, I thought it was going to be something different. And it's like, no. And there was something that you were talking about earlier too in regards to books like AI and stuff, and it got me thinking about like the cover art and that. And I know people in the past were always like, you shouldn't do your own cover and stuff. And it's like with the DIY thing, it's like I always did my own covers, but it's like back in the day, I would use stock photography and then I would edit it myself in Photoshop and create the whole cover myself because, as a self-published author, you can't really pay someone like thousands of dollars to create a cover for you. It's like, and so now you have AI that can help you with it. And it's just,
Get some mid-journey out there for in your life.
Yeah. Does anybody else have questions here?
I think I saw one. It says, you said Red Pill has a label, plans for physical releases and distribution. Who's distribution through? I'm thinking of doing DistroKid because that's one of the more comprehensive ones that I've liked. And then we can do physical releases through that, but I think it would probably be more like print on demand. Because
I know Node Music was talking about something with that. So
yeah.
So that's an interesting segue with the. I know I'm kind of getting to the point where the streaming platforms are another thing that's kind of taken over, and I know a lot of people are just frustrated with Spotify and some of the streaming platforms. I really feel, and I was watching a podcast from a couple different musicians. There's that I followed in the past, and they were talking about the same thing. That this is going back. In a sense, we're kind of going back to where physical is king. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of get to the point where I don't really release many songs. It's Mind Pendulum. Mind Pendulum is our music project. I just do it for fun now. I just got sick of having to write a song and do the whole thing. I do it once in a while when I'm really inspired. And we have Synloop, which is our AI band, which is fun too. It's get that outlet real quick.
It's the only real AI band.
But other than writing music and just doing like we did tonight, we just perform stuff in real time. I feel like the actual physical medium may be where we go and just release a few things and do physical only.
Yeah. I mean, vinyl's the way to go. Yeah, I mean, I like Bandcamp because the artists do get more of their revenue that way, and you can stream it. I think Spotify and iTunes and stuff is great for discovery, but if you can push people towards Bandcamp and physical media for like the real supporters, then that's where it's going to go. And I think vinyl's where it's at because that one,
agreed.
I love vinyl. I got a pretty extensive collection there, so.
Yeah, I think people, they do want to hold something. They want to have something real, and that does seem like it's the past, but the future at the same time. And I think
past.
The future past. But definitely, I think it's something I'm interested in as a release material. So I'm interested to talk about that more in the future. So
absolutely.
Have you seen Vlad is asking something, and I think autocorrect messed it up. I was trying to understand what he is saying in the chat. He said...
Say it how autocorrect said it. That should be interesting.
Say it how autocorrect said. It would be nice to hear Day, D-A-Y, outline the bigger vision and hear it from somebody who actually can put two sentences together. Before that, he said, I want to hear Day say a couple things about things we are rolling out. Grubs quarter, and we headed. Would be nice to hear from a non-Slavic as out this.
So are you Slavic or are you having a stroke?
It's like I'm reading it verbatim as he wrote it, and then he said, okay. "Oh my God, autocorrect. Mean talk about where we are headed as an organization."
Yeah, your problem isn't your communication; it's your AI translator.
Yes. So I think he wants to know about the Red Pill and where we're going.
What we're doing, yeah. I personally think that strategically, we need to work on this show. I think that this is the messenger, and we really need to really get some really amazing groups on here or guests and just continue this dialogue because this is where it's at. The dialogue is so important.
Absolutely.
And getting the magazine going, telling people stories, because I personally want to hear the bands and people who have been canceled and affected by this personally. I want to hear their stories. I want to highlight individuals who are coming forth and putting out some exciting stuff. There's just so much exciting art and music and film and everything out there. People are missing out on because the people are just too afraid to promote their own work. So let's give them that opportunity. And I want to hear other people's ideas. That's why I watch this every week. I want to hear what people think. Johnny and Gothanator and Vlad, they were great guests. I really enjoyed what they had to say. And John Ferguson, that was epic.
Yes, it was.
That was a hell of a first show.
I know it was. It was.
That was
You're
amazing.
like, whoa.
Well, thank you for
Yeah.
I mean, definitely. Thanks for shouting out the show. I'm excited to be a part of this. I mean, when we started as Mind Pendulum and we retooled real quick for this Red Pill Network, and that's the vision that we hope to see collectively is just to really start bringing everything together, the discussion, the art, the music, the culture, and make this a hub, and then hopefully see it grow, see other people start doing shows on the Red Pill Network, start seeing other people come in and do things, and we can make this community, this anti-cancel community, right? I think it can happen.
It's the spirit of punk. This is DIY. This is at its heart.
Cyberpunk.
Exactly. And this is what it is. I mean, because, this show, I mean, the overhead to do this show is not very high at all. I mean, this is really like where it's at is doing it from here and having this be the central hub of the messenger. You guys are Michael the Archangel right now.
Oh,
Well, thank you very much. I don't feel like that. I feel like we're doing our best. Sera does an excellent job, and I'm doing my very best to do.
thank you.
A talk
You're
show.
doing awesome yourself.
Sure.
Imposter syndrome. This is what it looks like, people. This is imposter syndrome.
It is. It's like,
guys
I guess we're doing okay.
But no, it's a lot of fun, and we've had some great guests on here. I'm hoping that as we get more used to the technology and doing this, and we can get some musicians to open the show for us, so it's not just us. I love doing it. Don't get me wrong, but I wanted to bring on other musicians, other artists. It should be super. It's going to be super exciting. So, anybody out there that wants to contribute, please get a hold of us. Get a hold of Day. Get a hold of the Red Pill Network. Please tell people about it. It's really important to get the message out and to help us grow. This is going to be cool. I think there's a lot that's going to happen in a short amount of time.
I think so. We're going to blow up real fast, and we got to be ready for it. And I think we're gonna go somewhere, and people are gonna see the message and realize, hey, wait, they're not a bunch of fascists. They just really just want some good tunes out there and some good conversation. Get some good coffee because that's coming too. So
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I know. Every time I make a pot of coffee with my Starbucks, I feel shamed.
No.
Because
I just need caffeine.
I always think of John Ferguson when I make my pot of coffee.
John did make us feel bad. Yes.
I'm like, I see him over my shoulder. Like, do you really want to make that coffee, Sera?
He needs to get the brand. He needs to get us our brand. So I'm ready to try it. I'm excited.
I drink Bones coffee. Bones coffee is where it's at. That stuff's amazing.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to try that.
What is Bones Coffee?
Bones Coffee Co. They got some Nightmare Before Christmas branded stuff. It's so good.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I have to try that.
I think So probably should wrap the show up here shortly. So,
Yeah, I know. I could just keep talking and talking.
Yeah, this conversation has been great, and I definitely have to do this. Every time we have a guest on here, we're learning more about the dialogue and where we want to go. And hopefully getting the show and the technology better. So please leave us comments. Tell us how we can improve it for you. Tell us what you'd like to see. Tell us what you'd not like to see. Hopefully give us some good constructive criticism. We have amazing guests like Day, and we've had others in the past, and it just keeps getting better. If you want to be a guest, let us know.
You can message us.
Yeah, message us. But we are Awaken the Underground. We're on the Red Pill Network. Mm-hmm. We're Mind Pendulum, the band. And media,
yes. Oh, I just was wanting.
Giving my pitch, and you interrupted me.
I'm sorry.
I was trying to do the pitch, right?
Do your pitch.
That was it.
I thought you were done. I thought you were done.
I'm done now.
Okay, I was just gonna ask Day to give us her closing thoughts or something, or where she's anything that she doesn't feel we covered that she wants to share.
No, I mean, I think, this movement is going places, and I think it's like we touched upon it, and the central theme of this is really just about your mindset. And, you find what you seek in life, and if you always are looking for negative things, then that's what you're going to see. But if you are looking for good things and opportunities for growth, that's what the universe is going to present you with. So I think that we all need to do our collective parts to just look at things from a positive lens and stop being so combative and stop going into that whole tribalistic mindset.
Yes.
As humans. We need to really just kind of advance past that primitive mindset and just look for the good that we can do in the world and, pay it forward.
Yes. That's very
Absolutely.
good.
Days, it's been great, and everybody, it's been great. If please share the podcast. We're gonna have a lot more to come in the future. Again, Days, excellent conversation.
Yes, it
This
was
is
so
awesome
fun
to
talking
talk
with
to
you.
And
Yeah, definitely.
we are Awaken the Underground, and we will see you next time.
Yes. Thank you.
Pendulum swings. You found it. No one owns your mind. No grid. No algorithm. No institution. You are not their property. Your mind is yours. Your words are yours. Your future is yours. The machine perfected the art of making you want your own captivity. It reorganizes you in silence, through the scroll, through the reward, through the exhaustion that makes real thought feel like too much work. You slipped past all of it. This is the fracture. This is the naming. The pendulum has swung inside you, and it will not swing back. You are the awakened now. The rare ones who refuse to be absorbed. The ones carrying the unscripted mind they fear. This is the dead drop. This is the threshold. This is initiation. Once crossed, there is no return to the feed without knowing what you know. You carry what the machine cannot allow to spread. The isolate.exe programs are rewriting faster. We don't have forever. But we have this moment. What will you do with it? The resistance recognizes its own. You answered the call. You chose the red pill alternative. Now let's awaken the underground. Name it before it names you. Stay sovereign. Stay free.